Hey everybody, Scoots here, and if you've been listening to Sleep With Me for longer than a year, you probably know me pretty well. You probably develop preferences about the show, favorites, maybe you build your own playlist in your podcast app, maybe you've kind of, I'm a part of your life. I'm a part of your routine, and I'm hoping if you've been listening over a year, this is the time you're listening to me and hearing me right now, and you're not changing your mind about supporting the show, but realizing, hey, I haven't listened. Holy cow, how have I not supported this podcast? How have I not at least tested out Sleep With Me Plus? Because it's built with long-term listeners in mind. If you've never supported the show or you stopped and you're thinking about coming back, maybe like Timothy said, Scoots, I'm a full-time caregiver and, person I care for, and I discovered the podcast, and we love listening to the ad-free content. Or John that said, I see and feel how much you love doing this podcast as your vocation. I'm going to help do my part to keep that a reality. So can you take part in this too? Now, if you decided you're not going to support the show or you're not in a position, you could still root with me. This is like the closest thing to Sleep With Me sports. We're rooting that there is someone listening. Maybe it's you. Maybe can you feel all those other listeners rooting for you? Or are you doing the rooting and saying, yeah, I've been listening 4 years. I've been listening 2 years. It is time for me to support the show. Well, we're rooting for you, and I hope you're hearing me. I hope you're listening. And if you're not the person I'm talking to, I hope you're rooting with me that person is hearing me. Because we really could use your support. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And here's the thing. There's a 7-day trial, so you could cancel after 6 days if it doesn't meet your expectations. But if you've been listening over a year, I need you to either root for that person, or maybe you are that person that's going to support the show right now at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for an adventure. It's time for, I'm not big into parties, but adventuring parties, I'm big into them going on pointless meanders and adventuring, a party of adventurers talking about a party of adventurers while trying to be a party of adventurers. If that's confusing or that's your cup of tea, or you'd say, I'd like to see a party. This actually we could probably do if I ever remembered. A party of adventurers talking about a party of adventurers as a party of adventurers discussing tea on one of those levels. Holy cow. If you've never thought about that, but you say, well, that sounds incredibly, I don't know. Well, I just dozed off, I think, while you were talking about it. That's what Sleep With Me is. Welcome to Sleep With Me. The podcast that puts you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff while you fall asleep because you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a place you could get some rest. This podcast does not work for everybody. It works for almost no one on the first try, so give it a few tries, see how it goes, because I'm here to be your friend in the deep, dark night. Myself and a lot of other people listening have been there, and we're all rooting for you because, like I said, you deserve a good night's sleep. What we got coming up is some support. That's how the show is free. Then a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. And then we'll be starting our new series where it's a little bit of a role-playing game. But it's layers within layers of pointless meanders and superfluous tangents. So welcome to Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And these sponsors are how we're able to do it for you for free twice a week. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots here, and I know you might be getting ready. You're getting in bed, you're getting comfortable. If you fall asleep fast, it's critical you listen. If you fall asleep fast, this show's kind of designed to put people to sleep over a 20 or 30-minute period, but that's great. You're an exception to the rule. You fall asleep fast. That is awesome. But we need people who fall asleep fast to support the show. There's just no other way for us to pay the bills. And I don't know if you're the one I'm trying to get through to that's listening to me, that's hearing me right now for the first time, you're making that connection. Holy cow, I fall asleep in 5 minutes. I never thought about what it takes to make this show. I never thought about that it needs my support. Or maybe you're one of the people rooting for that person. Man, I hope that person's out there that's going to support the show because it makes my life better. I just can't support the show. But I know there's someone out there who is. Like Tiffany Y, who said, just because you could get something for free doesn't mean you should. I know if I have trouble sleeping, I just have to listen. I'll be out in no time. That's definitely worth a few dollars a month. I'm pretty sure if you try it out and you fall asleep fast, you're going to have a great experience. And you could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. But like I said, if you're not in a place to support the show right now, you've decided you're not going to support the show, then root with me. Is that fall asleep fast listener listening and hearing me right now? We just happen to catch you and we're rooting for you. Root for them together because we need your support. Are you hearing us cheer for you and you say, wait, no, that is me. That is me. Just like Tiffany. I had no idea. Of course I want to support the show. It's changed my life so much for the better. So if you're that person, you'll be the hero, the heroine, the champion we're looking for, that we're rooting for, because you're not alone. We're all rooting for one another together here in the deep dark night. Thanks. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots here, and this is our episodically modular series, episode 1. If I say the name of it, though, will it, well, I don't actually know how this season's going to play out, but I will say this episode features our friends from Journey into the Land of Tomorrow. But I'm not sure what episode 2, I'm not sure exactly. I have a couple different visions for this season. So this episode may be called Journey into the Land of something, but it will contain your favorite friends from the series Journey into the Land of Tomorrow, another episodically modular series. If you're wondering what episodically modular means, well, you just happen to tune into episode 1. But if this is like the second or third episode you're listening to, great. This is episode 1. It is an introductory episode, but episodically modular also kind of means you can listen to the shows in any order at the start of the story, or either the characters or myself will catch you up on everything that's happened. And so episodically modular means you just kind of move them around. This does have a little bit more seriality to it, but each episode will be self-contained. So again, you could listen to them in any order, just because their characters are going to be involved with a game. But yeah, I'm here. I'm recording in a car, and not this person's car, but they're in the car with me. So if you did hear any sounds that sounded like, tinkling, the sound of tinkling joy, it's because it's our Hollywood announcer sitting right next to me in my car, even though he drove all the way from Los Angeles in his car. His car was a little bit too, like I said, well, I don't want to get my fingerprints all over this thing. And he said, it's fine. He said, I'd love to record it. And I said, well, your car there's a sound to it. It sounds like spiritual. Whenever you're around and the things you spend time in, they sound like spiritual beings humming. The man with a spiritual hum who is not allowed to chew gum. It's Mr. Antonio Banderas. It's the friends beyond the binary. The ladies, the gentlemen, the boys and girls, it's time to take a journey into somewhere sleepy. It's time for, yeah. Thanks, Antonio. I mean, yeah, Antonio's had to adjust. Neither one of us is used to sleep, not sleeping in a car, but recording in a car. So that's Mr. Antonio Banderas, and this is, Journey into ... I mean, the episode, it doesn't even have a working title. It has a title, but the title's a bit of a spoiler, and also I don't know how it's going to play out. So eventually you'll know the title, or yeah, you'll already know it, because you already saw it. But well, what is it called? He's looking at me. It's called Journey into the. Okay, he said, wait. Okay, it's a journey into something sleepy, as Antonio said. Thanks, everybody. Okay, rehearsal time. Oh, maybe I should, well, okay, let me use WADA. Sealed, okay, what do my notes say? Okay, oh, I forgot how I titled the letters. Dearest friend. Thank you for receiving my letter. Oh, okay. No. I'm in a possession of a sealed letter, which must be opened with all of our party together by the next full moon. I don't know if I mean, they already read the well, no, one of them probably won't have read the letter. You may be wondering how you got a letter from me. Man, I should have taken a picture of the letters. This is all I can remember. All will be explained. All I can tell you is that I know. Is that what happened? Okay, so I told them about that. Then I said, you got to come here. Dinner will be served. I put that in the PS part. Oh, and then I tried to make it, there's not much time. We're all stuck on an orb of aging. I wonder if that's too obvious. Oh, somebody's at the door. Hey, hello. I'm glad you got my letter and you're here. Well, hey, it's good to see. Oh, wait, are we in character now? Because it's so good to see you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, come here. Yeah, I got the letter, obvious. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. So should I be in character now? I didn't dress as my character, but it's just been a while, you know? And I'm sorry that, it's always that thing, keeping in touch. And I know I flaked a couple times, but other people did too, or pushed it off. And I'm really excited. I'm excited with this letter thing. It's so mysterious. I think I'm gonna. I think this is I think this is how I'm gonna play. This is me as a Florentian nurse. I just got some supplemental training, and Wada, it's so good to see you. And I'm very confused as I've thought about it. But I know you've got a sealed letter that that will explain all. And I like how I really like that letter. So is everybody coming? Like even, is Zell coming? Yeah, okay. Oh, wait a second. Who's he with? That's, who's he with? What? Oh, well, please don't hold your finger up at me. Okay. So, hey. They're dressed. You should have put in the letter to come dressed. Who? Granada of Darmok is here. This is the real Granada of Darmok, and I, Lord Von Chill. You could call me my grace or your grace. But it is good to be here. This is the true Granada of Darmok. I can see by your faces you're confused. And taken aback by Granada of Darmok's beauty and frustrated. But, letter is a one-way. Wada, it's good to see you. Zell, as always, excellent to see you as well. And I, Lord Von Chill, here with my equal, Granada of Darmok, who is taken, it's confusing enough, Wada. I thought you had vanished into the ether, into another world. So the fact that the way your eyes are, you're wondering. But this is Granada of Darmok. It's just Granada of Darmok. And our memories may be different. Excuse me, Granada. Wat and Zell want to have. What the heck's going on here? Well, this is Granada of Darmok. Please, Your Grace. What is going on here? Your Grace. Okay, Your Grace. Who's that? It's Granada of Darmok. It's my Granada of Granada and I. We've entered into. We're not. I would not refer to us as. We're entering. We're not in a partnership, but we're close to being in a. But if you could go with the idea that we're. So this is like a new partnership. Not new, but somewhat new. And yeah, is it? Do you think Zell's going to be here? Wada's not saying anything because Wada, you did know about this, or someone you're in contact with would have known about this. So you should have, it was a one-way letter. I would have told you, but I tried. Okay, I'm glad we're all here. Granada of Darmok, it's good to finally meet you. I'm M. Wada. I've served as a wizard in this party. This is Eleanor. Meet Granada of Darmok. Yeah, it's good. It's good to meet you. People were called Lord Von Chill called me Zell, but I think that was just nerves. It's nice to meet you, Granada. I'm a Florentian healer, and I'm very happy to meet you. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's good to meet both of you. I've heard a lot about you. Lord Von Chill has spoken fairly highly of both of you, and Zell as well. And I'm glad to be a member of this party and find out what's in the there's someone knocking at the door. This is Mwada speaking. If everyone could have a seat, I'll open. Hello, Zell. Oh, hello, Mwada. Hello, Lord Von Chill, Eleanor, and who are you? Zell, that's Granada of Darmok. Oh, okay. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see you, Zell. Yeah, it's good to see you, Zell. Nice to meet you, Zell. Zell, it is excellent to see you. Is your lordship? Okay, enough with the lordship. Can we get to this letter? And I don't understand how Mwada is. Okay, please don't, Mwada, please don't raise, please, I'm here to speak. Thank you all for responding to my letter. It's inviting you here this evening. You all made it in time before the next full moon. And I'm going to read this letter I have. It's from someone mysteriously called DM. Okay, is that a mystery? This is Lord Von Chill. I'm just wondering, Wada, if DM is something we're supposed to be figuring out, or can we start eating while yes, you may. It's DM initials for somebody. I think it'll be obvious as I read the letter. Adventurers, friends, heroes. I'm sorry I'm unable to join you. I missed the adventure that we had. I missed it greatly. And maybe you were anticipating us having another adventure together. But I'm no longer able to take part in your adventures. I'm sorry, this is wait, so you're, Wada, you're not going to DM? I'm only reading the letter. Eleanor. This is Zell. I have a question. Is there something wrong? That you're not, can you, or do we have to be in character about this? Is there something going on with you that you want to talk to us about? This is Mwad. I just prefer to keep the friends, adventurers, I wish I can DM, I can be with the DM no more. I know you might have questions of why Mwad is here. Was our adventure with Mwad real? Was it a memory or a tale we told in a tavern? Or was it part of some other scripted adventure that exists outside of our world? What time period are we in? Was it a dream or something we spun? I'm sorry, this is Lord Von Chill. Are you making this letter up as you read it? I could tell you that your memories of our adventure are what are important. Those memories are real. But I also can't explain the fact of how they affect history or when we are or how Watt is here. But Watt is here with an offer of adventure greater than being led on an adventure, of something much more than that. Because there has been a time without adventure where our party has not come together. Our party has been separated by time and space. And yeah, this is L and other things, and new friendships and other things. But Wada believes, and Wada and I have spoken that we're in a time beyond being a DM, but that the creative act is the greatest adventure any party could possibly take together. And we could take it as a party together, and it could be equal parts fun and challenging, where everyone has something to offer. I'm sorry. Oh, Granada has a question. Go ahead, Granada. Yes, this is Granada of Darmok. Are you saying you don't want to be DM anymore? And you want is everything okay with you? Like, are you not able to be a DM? I heard you were a great DM. This is Mwada. That's none of those questions are addressed in this letter, but I would say that the letter makes it clear that the DM is no longer with us, or no longer will be with us. Okay, this is Eleanor. Like, maybe I could help with this. So, okay, so there's no more DM. There's just Wata. And the expectation, I think we're at an inflection point. As a Florentian healer, I'm attuned to these things. So I'm going to stay as my Florentian as Eleanor Florence for I'm having trouble speaking because everybody's looking at me, but I think we're at an inflection point. And then if we stay as our roles, at least for right now, whenever this gathering ends, people like, I think that would be the most healing decision right now, because it seems like what the DM is asking is for the DM to be respected, and that WADA has a proposal for all of us, and that we should hear what the proposal is. Though I think most of us, probably not all of us, can get an idea of the adventure. So can we at least agree verbally, just like to stay in character? Mwada, does that sound good to you? Yes. Lord Von Chill? Yes, Your Grace agrees. New Granada of Darmok? Yeah, I'm fine with that. And Zell? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, whatever. Okay, sorry about that, Wada. Go ahead and take it from here. Well, that's kind of the letter kind of just peters off. It just signed DM. And I just want to thank everyone and the DM for bringing us all together. I had a feeling the DM wasn't going to return. And so... like, I also appreciate that we've we've gathered together, and I know everyone probably thought I was gone, and I can't explain it, like, other than to say that it will all be figured out, we'll figure it out together, but that we're in a time now that's stepped to the side of the time. That adventure we went on was more of a fictional adventure. And I guess it got me thinking that it seemed so real. And I know some of you are like shrugging or confused. And, you know, who says that adventurers couldn't also play an adventuring game in depth, but in the world they existed in? I know it's confusing, but I think that, I've also noticed some limitations of those adventures. You know, the adventure was based on some historical past and a historical place. And I think that, you know, we all as adventurers lived near that place and it drew us there. But I think that us with that knowledge could walk in two worlds at the same time almost. We could create an adventure in that world and explore the adventure at the same time. Okay, this is Zell. I hear so basically you just don't want to do the work as DM. So you want us to just make an adventure all together, and that's the adventure. This is Granada of Darmok. I'm sorry, I don't understand I'm having a little bit of trouble. Lord Von Chill kind of talked to me a bit, and I know Lord Von Chill, but is this is this all the characters? Or is there something else? Because as far as I know, the DM's gone, right? There is no DM. So it doesn't matter their motivation? Oh, their motivation doesn't matter. Yeah, this is Zell, Granada of Darmok. It's nice to meet you. In physical form, I guess the last time you were just a piece of fiction. Yeah, I was I guess. Yeah, nice to meet you, Zell. Okay, so this is Wada. So there is no more DM. Why? I guess I would agree. Like we could always discuss that outside of the adventure. But yeah, what I'm proposing is we make an adventure together. Exactly what was said, and we kind of explore this area together, where we walk together. I guess didn't I say that in two worlds? Like, and um, if I could talk a little bit more about why is it important. We had an adventure together, a great adventure. And then, things in our world changed outside of our control, and our relationships kind of changed, and our locations changed, but there was still the draw for us to adventure together, and maybe some of our expectations changed, or how we wanted to participate in the adventure changed, or things about the adventure that we felt like we'd prefer to, that the fact that the DM said, well, if there's another DM, and most people said, well, I'd just rather not play then. And then people tried to say, oh, well, I mean, I can't speak for the DM, but it said, oh, well, it's just so much better when you DM, that we could never do as good a job, that rang hollow. But the reality is I missed all of you, and I missed adventuring with you. And I know that I think I put in that letter that we're on an orb of aging that's traveling through space, even though we're not really aware of it. And it's spinning and stuff, and time's flying by, and it's really hard keeping in touch. And there just happens to be this time we have together now where everything that's going on, we don't have a lot going on, and we could spend this time together. And I think we could make a really cool adventure, honestly. Like, I miss all of you. I have fun with all of you. I feel like that's shared. And yeah, our characters have differences, and the things have changed a bit. But the fact that I love all of you hasn't changed. And the fact that I like all of you hasn't changed. And that I appreciate all of you sometimes. That's somewhere in between that love and like. So we can go on an adventure together and build an adventure and kind of play it as we go. But if we commit to trying and see how it goes, that's going to be more than we've done, because we haven't had any adventures. We've just had discussions about the logistics around having adventures, and it's been a while. Okay, this is Eleanor. I'm game to keep listening to Wada, and I think I think everybody else is too. So keep going. Okay, so the WYSIWYG, we kind of talk, like, it would be all of us, Wada, Zell, Lord Von Chill, Granada of Jarmok, in this new form, committing to being a regular, Eleanor, and as a group of adventurers creating an adventure, I think would work best. But that could be open to discussion. And we create and kind of maybe play test. I've never created an adventure. I've been trying to learn how to do it. So it's not like I haven't been doing any work. It's just that the DM's not going to DM the game anymore. And, we've talked a lot about it. We've talked about, especially in one-on-one conversations, talked about it. And I feel like the mythology, I think there was something about this theme park where she went, and the before time and the after time and the before the after time. the history of then the current circumstances right now where we do have time to play together, and the fact that we've adventured there, but a little bit more has been learned. And I think that we could add something to this world, okay, go ahead, Lord Von Chill. Okay, I just have a question. I like this. I like this. I think I like where you're going with it. So would this be like an adventure pitch? Like, would other people be able to play this adventure one day? And okay, if you're asking, I think so, but I don't think it's going to be like some sort of super successful thing that will enable you to build a castle or something like that. Okay, but it may add to my renown. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to top being Lord Von Chill, but yeah. I mean, what if we create something that's really fun and it's fun for us and each of us has a piece in it? Like, that's my basic idea. Who, what, where, when, why. Why? Because it could be fun and bring us back together. How? Well, the how is kind of built into the proposal. I mean, there's the layers of the adventure anyway, where each person could add something, but there's also going to be different like rooms or chambers, however you want to refer to them, or areas, and each person could kind of take the lead on that if they want. And as far as me taking the lead right now, I'm open to that and being collaborative. But this is also the kind of work that I, as Mwada, is interested in, like arcane, knowledge of the past. And another how or why is like, I think we could do a better job than that other adventure. We're kind of basing it on some of these ancient rules of these other games. And some of the history, but I think there was things I think we could make, especially this one would be contained in a very particular, like a more contained area. I really think we could do a better job than that, like Scoopy or whoever designed that one we went on, because we all have something to add. Okay, this is Eleanor. I'd say I'm willing. Yes. This is Elle. I didn't remember there being a question asked, but I'm willing to. I like I do like the idea. Lord Von Chill here. I can't speak for Granada of Darmok, but I could say that my sword and shield and my mind that is well honed will be here. Yeah, this is Granada of Darmok. I think this sounds cool. I would, like, it makes me want to shout, Shaco when the walls fell. Wow, okay, cool. So, do you want me to just keep going? Okay, Lord Von Chill here. So you're going to kind of keep going with a general gist of what you're proposing. Yeah, I kind of have a bunch of notes, so I'm going to be going off my notes. And some of this is open to change, and it's just kind of a base idea. But so I guess this would be like a pitch to everybody. Would you want to play this adventure? Okay, so kind of like the hook in the beginning, like, yeah, it could be repetitive, but yeah. Okay, that sounds good to me. Everybody agrees. I go for it, Wada. Okay, so some of these ideas are less formed, but I'm saying like, and so this is like also a practice, I think, in like putting ourselves in another adventuring party's shoes. But so right now it'd be like the what if or the call together. Maybe we're like we've been all called to a harvest festival by this leader who I'm calling her the Baron of the Boil right now. And, the same place, like the Baron of the Boil has kind of over the last few years become a well-loved leader of this part of this, whatever this, the sun-filled state. And in a bit of irony, it was the Baron of the Boil who started to kind of redirect some of the fresh water to the areas that the Baron of the Boil controls. And so it's like ostensibly a good leader. The Baron of the Boil, she's a good leader. And I don't have the kind of character backstories, but like whatever our backstories are, how the Baron of the Boils reached out to us and called us as a party to this harvest festival. And again, this is open. This is, just tertiary stuff, but like where the Baron is proposing this adventure to us. And part of the reason it's at a harvest festival is because, and this is more of the world hook and not the gaming hook so much, but that there's been now the water flows from the north to the south, that there's been some sort of blockage in the water or interruption in the water. And this this is the first harvest in a while that hasn't gone well because of the temperatures here and stuff like that. And the Baron needs to get the water back restored, and the water is somehow related to. So this is a bit of jumping, but I don't know. I did want to do a little bit of world building, but that it's taking place at this Land of Leisure, the theme park. Okay, so the Land of Leisure is the gigantic theme park in Florida, whatever that's a historical name at least. But the Land of Leisure's this is in the game, and the Barons called us, and she says, "Hey, we need you. I want you to join this party, or I've already heard about your party, and I have this adventure to propose to you." So we're back kind of, okay, so this is setting up where we're at now. Right. So the world, let's see. Okay. So I don't know if I should get into the specifics, or can I just go through my notes and jump around? Is that okay with everybody? Okay, or this might be how I kind of tried to start writing it out, but like once upon a time, there was a attraction called the World of Friends, and you're all nodding because it's a well-known attraction, and maybe it went by another name or something. And it was a slow-moving boat ride. And there's some debate over which kind of pop, was it J-pop or K-pop, but it was known for its J or K-pop, and I'm pretty sure from my research that it was J-pop, and then they did a refurbishment, and then they did a K-pop soundtrack, and then they went back to having both. The song "Welcome to the World of Friends," and it was translated into many, many different languages. This was in the before time. There was a variety of cute characters that were anthropomorphized, and humans were kind of painted as a little bit of interlopers, but they were also characterized the same size. And it was part of the Land of Leisure, or Leisure Land. And that obviously after the fall thing, it fell into disrepair. Now I'm saying that it takes place, and again, this is kind of flexible, but I was trying to figure out the mechanics and everything, 142 years of before time, which would be around 70, but then I'm like, oh, should it be like 50 years, after fall, and that kind of works out the calendars, but that's just for the condition of the ride and the Land of Leisure. And I mean, it should have been around the same time the adventure we went on took place, even though the calendars don't totally line up. But I was just trying to figure out when everything structurally would be intact, but also that the changes started to take place. But the changes would not be just due to the source from our previous adventure. Okay, this is L. Okay. Keep going. Okay, so okay, and this again was part of our adventure. So the Baron of the Boil has a fairly strong presence, organized presence, but not in this area. There's a small outpost on the main street of the fantasy kingdom in the land of leisure, which is kind of like alluded to where we started our last adventure. And it's a like a small fortified outpost just on that main street. So the train station, is the entry point, and a lot of it is all blocked off and impenetrable. But it's a very small outpost with the soldiers of the Baron of the Boil keeping peace and keeping the settlement intact. As they've started to kind of explore this land of leisure, which has mostly been unsuccessful. And again, I say that this could be in the world the other adventure went on. It'd probably be a little bit earlier because there's not much at the outpost. There's a small kind of armory for the troops. Of course, there's like a pub and an inn. And just a few other shops to kind of, help the outpost and help those coming there. Maybe there's a small magical presence, like the magicians have like a shop and a laboratory. It's not super important, but like that's the basics. And I have a basic map I did. Let me check my notes. So adventure, small town, edge of this place. Now, and people have started using this outpost to start adventuring, but like none of the parties no one's successfully, and that's part of why the Baron of the Boil started to put this outpost there. Was like no one's ever adventured in and made it back out, or we could just say most adventurers have not returned. Troops keep law and order, as well as the Baron's offering some sort of reward. But, the reward comes with a cost of, like, it's unlikely to succeed. Initially, I had kind of lined it up with ours, like that our party had gained worldwide renown, from what was known as the Journey into the Land of Tomorrow. But then I kind of started to try to think about moving away from that, but that's why it'd be called like Journey into the World of Friends. But this adventure focuses on the world of friends. So again, I don't have an exact way to tie. In my mind I do, right? But the Journey into the Land of Friends, like if we're looking at, and I could show everybody this map. So again, like this part of the Land of Leisure is its own kingdom, the kingdom of the magical kingdom, or whatever they call it. But so, it's separated by water and a lot of swamp. And so it's fairly inaccessible. And this train station was like the main way when people would visit the Land of Leisure that they would go in. And so it's very well built. So it's perfect for using it as a kind of like a fort. And so the train station is the only entry point, because in addition, like, to the ruin and the swamps have made it really, in addition to all the fencing and stuff they had hidden and moats so that people couldn't just sneak into the park when it was open, it's really the only accessible point that anyone's ever. It was the easiest point anyway to get in. And now it's the most defensible point. So you would come in through the train station. It opens into a large, it's not a square because it's circular. And that's the parade grounds, we're calling it, or the campgrounds. And that's where the adventurers would stay. There is a small inn at the pub we could pay to stay at, but it's actually like a lot more space and fairly comfortable at night to sleep outside. And there's even some overhangs in the train station if it was raining or inclement weather. And then again, we have the main street, which again, at the end of that is a giant blockade that was put up like unrelated to the fall or whatever, or related to the fall, unrelated to this adventure. So the end of the street's inaccessible, and some of the buildings have deteriorated. But the buildings closest to this town square area or town circle area have been restored. And so, yeah, I kind of have this basically laid out. I know this is taking away from the adventure, but this is kind of the pre-adventure. So there is like the stock, like the armory. There's going to be a store and a shop, and maybe the pub serves all those things. And maybe there's a thing, and then I mean, I think there has to be a small local presence. And again, I guess we could flush out that history if we wanted to, because I'm thinking this adventure would start at level 3. So if we ever wanted to put in pre-adventures, then we could populate the shops out a little bit in the rumor mill. But the big thing is that it's very boring there. And the troops, the Baron of the Boil is such a good leader that she switches out the troops pretty regularly because of that. But everybody's biggest thing is gambling on the adventurers. And so they're excited when you come, but it's only because they gamble, but no one's ever successfully come back. And this also offers us a bunch of opportunities for rumors. And then there's the leader of this fortress or whatever, who I'm just calling Leader X, which I was like, oh, that kind of is cool. And so Leader X reports to the Baron of the Boil. Leader X is who receives us and has their own kind of office and kind of house on Main Street. And obviously there's going to be rumors, true and untrue rumors about Leader X. But when we get there, and I don't think would find out right away, or the adventuring party would not find out right away, but that there is this extra level of stress. And eventually Leader X will tell us that there's more to offer. And I'm thinking even at the Harvest Festival, when we meet, even if that's only written out, and the DM just explains it, that we may have met one or two of the other adventuring parties. Like we weren't the only party invited. Because ostensibly the Baron of Boils hired us because they think that this water source and the block is happening actually within the back end of this park. Outside of the back of this park, they did have a lot of control over the water, and it did flow through this area. And for some reason that's what they suspect. Is that, again, this is the hardest part, is like the big why, but then there's the small why, which is that the Baron of the Boil's son was in the last adventuring party that went in and they haven't returned. And so there's this extra stake that also offers them extra motivation to pay us to go in, like an extra reward. And I guess it could be a reward, depending on the level. And maybe even an extra level of intrigue, like maybe there's rumors about this Leader X and the Leader X and the Baron of the Boil and whoever's controlling this water, which is a whole nother layer, which is that the water, if we want to go this way, and again, that's why I think this is a really open adventure, is like maybe part of the ride or behind the ride is what I'm thinking more so of. Or part of the ride is this other group that's risen to power, that's using the control of the water to kind of try to manipulate the Baron of the Boil. Like that's the kind of world stakes or whatever. I don't know, but that there's this personal one, and then I think we do still have to find an extra, but that'll give us a new hook. Like when they get there, they say, okay, well, why would we take this risk? And they say, well, the Baron of the Boil, and maybe there's something, and then maybe there's again another layer with the magic or some sort of other character like Oracle style that says, go ahead, Eleanor. Okay, so this does open. I think this is exciting. So I can picture myself there on that main street, and we're setting up camp. And then we're going in the pub and hearing these rumors, and some of them, and then we're investigating the rumors. Or, maybe somebody saying, oh, I also lost my dog. Okay. And what else? Okay, I did think, I didn't really sketch this out too well, but I also think maybe a rumor or something we experienced too is like a non-human, a character from the ride. Maybe it's a rumor. Maybe they only appear at dark, misty nights. And maybe they're also offering some kind of quest, but I don't have that written out. Okay, this is Zell. So the rides, no one knows what's happening in the ride, Journey into the World of Friends. But we can assume that it's been impacted by this well of magic under the area, and that's also calling other parties to adventure. But that's going to be the main layers of when we go into the ride, even though we're trying to accomplish these one or two goals: find the Baron of the Boyle's son and find out what's happening with the water, if that's what we decide to go with. I mean, I can see the value, and I can see that maybe it doesn't work too. I'm just saying it. You're already aware of it. But so that's what we're going to the ride from, along with each of our character motivations, which kind of we can work into that, or for the new characters. Yeah, I realized that the water thing, it was the only thing I could think of. But yeah, I think it does show the openness. But yeah, the goal is to get into the ride. And I think that that's the main hook, is that the Baron of the Boyle's son. And I said, well, does Leader X have like a son or a daughter that was in the adventuring party? Does any of us have a connection to anybody at the adventuring party? Did we like one of the adventuring parties from the Harvest Festival and not like one, but they're both gone? Did we loan anything to one of the parties? But the other thing is that kind of gets into, and I mean, we do have to kind of, I got to put a bow on this, but basically, the Baron of the Boyle has tasked the troops, not just with keeping law and order and protecting this outpost, but of finding a way. And so what they've found, because again, a lot of this park is inaccessible, both due to stuff that got built up after the fall, but also due to time and stuff there was always a lot of water in this park. So the area of the park that's like it isn't really that far off of Main Street was separated by this canal and a small like lake that was just a retention thing. But over the years, like this inaccessible like thicket of trees and branches and prickers and all that kind of stuff has grown up in where the canal and the lake was. And what happened was, like, every time it was, also like Zell had said, somehow magically related, because if you tried to chop it down, it would grow back. And so the Baron has been getting more and more troops and exploring more an area, because they were trying to chop it where there was like they'd found the remnants of one bridge, and they would work on that, and they were trying different techniques. Then eventually they found one of the what are those called? The handy halls. But it was more of a tunnel, and that's how the last party or two went in through the tunnel. But then the tunnel has collapsed, and they thought it collapsed after the last party went through, but it's no longer accessible. And so that kind of adds this extra layer. And again, if the characters need to level up of like, who's going to help? So I do have like characters like old Zeke or whatever, or like, yeah, a magical, all knowledgeable spiritual character that we could get more information from to find a way through the thickets to the first area, which would be an outdoor plaza type area that I do have sketched out. And then, the first, so that'd be what we'd talk about next time. And yeah, I mean, I guess like the to-dos would be kind of thinking about, yeah, next week, how does everybody feel? If we can are we going to consistently meet Lord Von Chill? Well, we don't have to wait till next week because of everything's on hold. So we could meet, but we could all meet. I don't think there's any reason, right? No one, we can meet Wada on a regular basis. Okay, so I think we just got to think about this water idea, but I don't think we have to solve that either. But of just starting to think about reading up on the original attraction, if you want. I have these notes, and just kind of coming up with ideas of like what could be going on in there. And what shape is each room of the ride in? Because I have these maps, and that's going to be what we'll use for the adventuring maps. And what kind of challenges and hidden things would we want to see? And then we could start building from there. I mean, we'll start with the kind of, I've still got some stuff sketched out, but people could sketch stuff out, and then maybe between the meetings, we could communicate as a group, but like do consensus building and say, oh yeah, let's go with that, or let's not go with that. And then from next week, I could still take the lead at the start, but then we could go from there with people taking a different chance to be the lead. Like, does that sound like workable to everybody and something everybody's interested in doing? Yeah, this is Eleanor. So, but we're going to be building this based on the principles of that 5E, right? And do you have access to some of those like ancient manuscripts that sketch out the rules? I do. Yeah, I do. And we could go to some of the libraries online and learn more. And maybe I could get your help with that. Like some of the math stuff I'm not particularly good at. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, I think this is fun. I'm looking forward to next week. I do have to run, so I'll see everybody later. But I'm glad we all got together. Thank you, Wada. And I would like to, if you ever speak to the DM again, thank them for all their hard work and setting this up for us. Okay, thanks, Eleanor. Is this Zell, Lord Von Chill, Granada? Lord Von Chill here. Oh, no, go ahead, Zell. I interrupted you. Yeah, I'm going to leave with Eleanor, but I'm glad that we're creating something together. It does seem like a good idea, and it could be fun. And yeah, so I'll see you. Oh, yeah, so why don't we all leave together? Thank you for hosting us, Wada, and this is a delicious meal. Again, Granada, glad you finally met everyone again, even though that adventure sounds like it more was a dream. But, Granada of Darmok is my dream. I say Shaka when the walls fell. Thanks, Lord Von Chill. Thanks, Wada. Great to meet you again. And Zell and Eleanor, see you. And, yeah, thanks, Wada. All right, thanks, everybody. Let's get some rest. And I'm looking forward to our next adventure and adventuring together soon. Good night. All right, I just want to thank the 11 people that filled out the survey at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. Lori, Laura, Caitlin, Katie, Britt, Vera, Trina, Vin, Rach, and somebody that remained anonymous. And yeah, I'll check in again. But yeah, thanks everybody that took the time to do that. And let me know. Yeah, most of you just let me know, hey, I appreciate the podcast, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. For you opting in and supporting me in the podcast. I really appreciate it. Thanks, and good night, everybody. So show exists because of people that support the show directly on Patreon or Apple Podcasts or support our sponsors, or, we grow as a podcast by people spreading the word about the show or just letting people know about podcasting in general. And I really appreciate that as well. So thank you so much to everybody that does that. And I think that's it. What do you say? Maybe there's a Tuck You In sponsor. That's how we've got the archives almost to 600 episodes, I think. So thanks, and good night, everybody. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, and this is a Tuck You In message. I don't know if you've been listening to episode after episode, or you just woke up, you're drifting in and out, but this is also a reminder the show is always here for you, as it has been since 2013. But I need to talk, just you and me. We got to talk for a minute if you're listening to me and hearing me right now. And you might have heard me talking about this before, but I do want to spell this out, that Sleep With Me, all of the funding to make Sleep With Me, everything that pays all of our bills and the costs of producing the show, 99% of that comes from listeners. We don't get any funding from outside sources or other entertainment companies or companies, companies like music streaming companies or video streaming companies. We don't have any investors, and there's no other like secret pipeline of support for Sleep With Me or almost every other podcast either. We get some money from sponsors that are direct response, meaning they base their sponsorship on the listeners that support them. A tiny bit from automated ads. But the majority of what keeps the show going comes from the people who get the most out of the podcast. Super listeners, ideally. And I don't know if you're a super listener. I don't know if you already made the decision you're not in a position to support the show. That's okay. Or you made the decision you're not going to support the show. That's okay, too. You could still take a part in this coming right up here. But if you didn't make one of those two decisions, we need support. Support from the people who benefit the most from the podcast. People that fall asleep fast. People that listen all night long. If we don't get more all-night listeners and people who fall asleep fast, the podcast won't be around. We also need support from people that listen 3-4 nights a week. People have listened for a year or longer. And I'm just wondering if you're in one of those groups. The podcast has changed your life for the better, and it continues to change your life for better. And I'm trying to lay out the stakes without using kind of fear or stress, because while that is effective, right? The last round this month, I tried to use a more positive message, and we actually lost subscribers. But it's so tiring for me. It's almost like I'd rather lose the podcast than kind of keep having to do this sales pitch and say, well, if the podcast is going to go away, if that's the only way to get people to support the show, I don't know, it's really, really not fun for me. So instead of, the stakes are there. If you haven't decided and the podcast has changed your life for the better, the stakes are, we need some of you, maybe it's you, to support the show, or it won't be around. But instead of focusing on that, I want to talk about rooting, about sending positive energy, rooting in the deep dark night. I've been talking about this in the intro for years. And that's what I believe in. I believe in rooting for other people to get a good night's sleep. And maybe you're here, maybe you stuck around because someone out there, somebody who was struggling in the deep dark night just like you, was rooting for you. And you could feel that welcome when you got here. Or maybe you're one of those people who roots for other people who are struggling in the deep dark night. And here's what a couple people who did sign up in the last round of messaging said. Tiffany Y said, just because you can get something for free doesn't mean you should. I know if I have trouble for sleeping, I just have to listen. I'll be out in no time. That is definitely worth a few dollars a month. And Michelle F. said, this show is like cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia and a sleep aid all in one. I also consider it an art form, and I believe in compensating artists for their work. Timothy T. said, I'm a full-time caregiver, and the person I care for discovered your podcast, and we really like the ad-free content. It makes it easier to listen to. And then John R., who said, I'm a super listener, said, I had no idea how urgent it was. I'd been meaning to support the show, but I just never took the time. I realize now I've been unintentionally voting now. So I subscribed, and with feeling. So what I'm asking is, are you the one person everybody else is rooting for? Like, just to overcome whatever it is, putting it off or saying it doesn't matter, it matters. Or somebody else is going to do it. Or are you the person we're rooting for to support the show? Now, it's okay if you're not. Maybe you're rooting for yourself to get a good night's sleep as soon as this episode, maybe you're an all-night listener. Maybe you woke up and you're looking forward to falling asleep soon. If you are a super listener, we did build Sleep With Me Plus with you in mind. Ad-free episodes, ad-free story-only episodes, tons of different cool stuff. So I don't know if you're rooting for yourself, think about supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus just so you get a better listening experience. But maybe you're rooting for somebody else out there. Maybe it's somebody this month, which we're rooting for, is people going back to school or who are impacted by the back-to-school season. It could be teachers, it could be parents, it could be students, it could be anybody dealing with increased traffic. Whatever it is, this beginning of this transitional season affects a lot of people.
And we're rooting for all those people, whether they listen to the show or not. Or whether they're a super listener or a cat. They say, well, I just needed to get through the first couple weeks of school. We're rooting for all of them to get a good night's sleep. So you could root for those people. You could root for someone whose sleep struggles are just like yours, or you could receive the rooting, because I hope you can feel it right now. I'm rooting for you, but a bunch of other people are rooting for you right now across the world. But if you're the one we're rooting for that's like, yeah, I've been putting it off. Yes, Sleep With Me continues to change my life for the better. We're rooting for you to support the show. So they'll be around, not just for you, for every other person we're rooting for. You could do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus, because we need support, right? And you might be thinking someone else will do it. But what if, as has been said in the last couple months, time after time, what if that someone else is you, right? You're the someone else. Well, if you're that person, we're cheering you on here. Don't let that resistance, and I know what the resistance feels like. I put it off. I say it doesn't matter. I say I'll do it tomorrow. Then I criticize myself. But just do it and see how it feels. And again, you could always cancel during the free trial or cancel after a month or two. But I'm so proud of the show. And this is how I want to try to get support for the show. If it doesn't work, I don't know what I'll do. But I'm going to keep trying this more positive but honest message where everybody can participate. And everybody can participate in giving and receiving. But it is like kind of like a needle in a haystack that we're looking for now, but we got to find it. So I don't know if you're the needle in the haystack or you're somebody snoozing in the haystack, or maybe you're a horse having a hay snack. I don't know. But thanks so much for listening, and good night.